Oh my God. Wow, that chicken is so good. It's so juicy and flavorful. You've got to try this one. Hi everybody, welcome back to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're making Pesto Prosciutto Chicken. This is one of my favorite recipes for an easy weeknight meal, but it's also so beautiful that it's perfect for a company dinner or a holiday celebration. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's get started. And what do y'all think of my pink here? I'm so used to black, this feels like an Easter egg or something. All right, first up, we're gonna make the pesto. We're gonna start with about 2 ounces of fresh basil leaves. Just pull these off and just leave kind of the really big stems out. And pesto is a great thing to make ahead. You can do a double batch or make it on the weekend when you have time and then store it in the freezer. Especially in the summer if you, apparently I can't talk today. If you grow basil, it's a great thing to do if you have, a whole lot of basil. Make it into pesto, store it in the freezer, pull it out when you need it. Next is 1/4 cup pine nuts. And you can use walnuts or another nut. These I found at Trader Joe's. They're dry toasted pine nuts. And the bag is about $10, but again, if you keep this in your freezer, they'll last for a long time and you don't need very much for each batch. Next is 1/3 cup Parmesan cheese, grated. Next is 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. And then I've got to get 2 cloves of garlic. You can do 1 or 2 cloves. I actually like kind of 1 smaller size clove. I don't like it with so much garlic that it just overwhelms everything. Now I'll add 1 small clove garlic. And then I've got about 2/3 cup extra virgin olive oil. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of that in at a time. And then we'll get the lid here and give this a good pulse. These are great if you do things like pesto, salsa. I do different sauces in here, cilantro lime sauce, chimichurri. I do a chipotle marinade in here. So I find it really useful. I'll put a link to this one in the description box below if you want to check it out. Just add the rest of our oil there. That looks great. If your pesto, it has kind of a yellow tint to it from the nuts and the Parmesan, that means it's probably not mixed enough. So go ahead and process it a little more. You can see mine looks really nice and green. We'll just pour that over in our bowl. Now this makes about 1 cup of pesto. And for this recipe, we use about 3/4 cup. So you will have some left over. And I like to serve that on the side or just for dipping. My daughter loves to spread it on some bread. So you'll use the extra, or as I mentioned, you can throw it in the freezer. You'll see I didn't use all the oil in that batch. So, add it as you need, and then you may not actually need it all depending on, sometimes I just use stuff in more leaves and need more oil. So it's the pink, I think. The pink is throwing me off, definitely. Okay. We made our pesto, pretty easy, right? We're gonna set that aside, and now it's time to get out the chicken. All right, I preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and then I've got a baking sheet here lined with parchment paper. Now we have 4 chicken breasts, and if you can, I like to get the chicken breasts that are on the smaller size. The really big ones can be kind of tough, so smaller is better. And then also if you can get 4 that are about the same size, that's also ideal since we're baking them all together. Now I know that's kind of hard these days in the grocery store. You just kind of get whatever's there. So don't worry, it'll work. Just set these chicken breasts out on our baking sheet here. This one, okay. All right, there are our chicken breasts. I'm gonna give my hands a quick rinse. And as I'm drying my hands, I have to show y'all, these were my mom's favorite dish towels, and I love them. I can put a link in the description box if you wanna take a look. They are so cute. This one has birds on it, and it has all the different names of the birds. And my kids like to look at it and, we say, oh, we know that one, didn't know that one, know that one. So And they have other ones than just birds. They have herbs, they have different lettuces, they have flowers, wildflowers. It's just so pretty. I really love them, and they're great towels, really high quality. Thought I would share. Now, what I'm gonna do, this is really important for this step. You wanna make sure that if you are gonna be serving pesto, the extra pesto later, like with the dinner, you don't wanna be going back and forth, touching the chicken and going back into your pesto bowl. So what I'm gonna do is move some pesto in a different bowl. So I'm gonna save some over here. So this is my chicken pesto bowl, and then you just discard whatever you don't use, but we'll use it all here. So what we're gonna do is just take and spread the pesto. Oops, didn't do any salt and pepper. You don't need a lot of salt and pepper on these because you have the pesto, which is salty, with the parmesan, and maybe a little pepper here. Okay, so we'll just spread the pesto on each chicken breast. You get all that garlic flavor and the parmesan and the pine nuts, and those are all gonna bake in the oven, kind of roast. So you get kind of this cooked parmesan, pesto, pine nuts, all that in the oven. It's just the best flavor, and the house will smell incredible. The last time I made this, every single person, which is three people, when they came home, my husband, my daughter, my son, they all came home and said, oh, wow, or yum, or, you know, they were just so happy with the dinner, and everybody loved it and ate it. Okay, so we'll keep spreading this around. I like to get them all nice and covered, kind of a thick layer. Everything's pretty covered, looks good. I'll put this in the sink. So for the prosciutto, I'm using one that I got at Trader Joe's. If you happen to have a Trader Joe's in your area, I do highly recommend it for prosciutto. Some places like Whole Foods, for example, nothing against Whole Foods, but I think their prosciutto is very expensive. You get it at kind of like the meat counter. This is really perfect for what we're doing here. You want one that's a little bit thicker sliced, so it's not gonna break or fall apart, you know, be too thin and just fall apart. So it's a little bit thicker sliced. See how I can kind of pull these up two at a time here, and they're not falling apart. So I don't know what thickness it is, but it works well for this. Then I'm just gonna lay it across the chicken. And you could do 3 if you want, I'm just doing 2. Anyway, lay it across the chicken. Isn't it already starting to look beautiful? There we go, we've got our prosciutto. Now we're just gonna tuck it under the chicken, like this. Just tuck it right under there. Tuck this under, like that. Under, and there, like that. Let me wash my hands and we'll move this over to the oven. Now this goes in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, or until an internal temperature in the chicken registers 165 degrees. You may need a little longer if your chicken breasts are really big. Okay, into the oven. All right, I'll see you back here in about 20 minutes. All right, the chicken's done. The timer just went off. I've got my oven mitts here. I'm gonna grab this out of the oven. It is so beautiful and it smells so good. Look at that, all those nicely portioned chicken breasts ready to go. They just look beautiful. They were so easy to bake in the oven. You saw how easy it was. While they were baking, I was doing dishes. There wasn't much to clean up. I mean, it's a great meal. I really hope you get to try it. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. It means so much to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and the notifications so you can catch the new videos when they come out. That really helps. Also, you can become a member of my YouTube channel. There's different levels with different perks at each level, so it's a great way to support the channel. Okay, I'll show you real quick how to, if you want to set these out, you know, for guests or just to impress your family. I don't know, that's fine too. We'll just take these right off there and put them on a nice platter like this. So pretty on a nice white platter. It's really pretty to, you know, put some basil down here just to make it look really, isn't it pretty? Everyone is always so impressed and excited for dinner when they see this. So I can't wait for you to try this one. And we can serve our little bit of pesto on the side, serve it with some bread for dipping. Even though it's gonna mess up my beautiful presentation here, I am going to cut into one to taste it and let you know how good it is. Now my favorite bite is when you get some prosciutto and chicken and pesto, but I'm just gonna try some from the end so I don't mess it up too much. Look how nicely that's cooked. Really pretty, juicy chicken breast there. Hope you can see it. Yum, lots of flavor. Oh my God. Y'all, wow, really good. Wow, that chicken is so good. It's so juicy and flavorful. You've got to try this one. For this recipe and more, head over to my website, mariesaba.com. There you can go and print out this recipe. And if you like all my recipes, several of you have told me that you printed them out, put them in a notebook, and you're making your very own Marie's Kitchen cookbook for free. And I'm so thrilled to hear that. If you have any trouble with the printing, just email me and let me know, and I'll get it resolved as soon as I can. My goal is to give you some really easy recipes that turn out great every time so you can build some confidence in the kitchen and feel really inspired to share good food with people that you love. From my kitchen to yours, thank you. See you next time.